What did the management company who was maintaining the furnace in that house do wrong? And I'm going to share my screen.
They did not have regular periodic preventative maintenance on this boiler. This is not an old boiler. This boiler was 10 years old when this picture was
It's
taken.
actually a furnace, isn't it?
A furnace, I'm sorry. We have a big boiler case right now, and I had a long deposition yesterday. This is a furnace. It is not a boiler. You're correct.
So what are the telltale signs of carbon monoxide in this photograph?
Well, let's go from bottom to top. You can see in the bottom there in the burner pan, that is a lot of corrosion.
Talking
And
about down here at the bottom?
yes, sir, underneath there and under that burner pan, you can see what shouldn't be there. You got rust. And if you look at that little point, which is next to the inducer motor, you can see a telltale sign there, which is looks like you've got drippage. You've got some moisture that is dripping down. That should not be there either. And the reason that's a problem is because when you have incomplete combustion and you have the products of combustion are riddled with carbon monoxide, the water vapor condenses and it's very acidic and it causes rust, which is a sign that you have a moisture problem. And if you have a moisture problem, you probably have high amounts of carbon monoxide in the exhaust flue gas.
Okay. So when I look at if I go in my utility room down the hall, there'll be water on the floor. I mean, water stains on the floor near the drain. Is that the same concern that we see here?
No, that I believe you have a boiler in your utility room, right?
No, I have a furnace and two hot water heaters. But
Yeah.
what I also have in that room is an air conditioner.
Yeah, so you're right. That's condensate from the air conditioner, and it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's condensing the air, and which creates moisture, and moisture has to be flushed, has to be whisked away, and that's what your system does.
Now, what's different about the rust in this picture?
The one you just showed, or a different one?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one.
Well, if you look, you're talking about the rust underneath or the rust on this. Yeah.
Well, you would never see rust from an air conditioner on the exhaust pipe.
No, of course not. What has happened here is we have a you can see there's a slight tilt to that pipe, and this has always been my theory of the case, is there was a breach, and that is the exhaust flue pipe. That is where the products of combustion are supposed to be exhausted out of this particular house.
Essentially the chimney for this furnace.
It is the chimney for the furnace, and this is an induced draft furnace. You can see the black cylinder
What
underneath
does
there.
that mean? Induced
And
draft.
the induced draft means this is a mechanically driven process. It sucks air, combustion air in from that basement room that it's in. And then its second function is to push the products of combustion after they've been burned out of that chimney. So it creates a suction on the front end and it pushes on the back end. And then the chimney is supposed to assist as well through gravity and heat rising principles to assist that fan to get it out. And what you can see happening here, and you can see it's wonderful thing about corrosion is it does leave a mark, right? It leaves a fingerprint, if you will. And in this particular boiler, or excuse me, furnace, the rust that we're seeing is evidence that this moisture was escaping. The high amounts of very corrosive moisture is escaping that furnace combustion process from that chimney and is rusting that chimney. The other thing that was happening, we found this out, was this was an overfired furnace. We
So
had way too
this
much.
furnace looks like it's 20, 30 years old.
It does look like it's 20, 30 years old, and that's because it was never maintained. And this would have been caught. And it was admitted to, you and I took the depositions of all of the technicians, and they all admitted when they saw these pictures that this should have been caught. If it had been a regular maintenance program as required by all the industry standards, this would have been caught early on, and this moisture problem would have been detected. They would have realized what was happening, that this was the moisture problem got so bad that it was the root of the problem. It clogged the fuel valve so that it locked it open, for lack of a